If you are looking for swing trading stock ideas but always find them after the big move, don't worry. In this video, I'll show you step by step how to spot swing trades early and capture most of the gains. So there are several ways to find the stock ideas for the swing trading. One of the best way I find most of my ideas are from the stock screening tools. Today I'm going to show you the free stock screening tool that I find most of my ideas on the right time. So basically you go to the Google or any browser and type the FinViz, and you can see here there is the screening option. Just click there, and on the top you can see several other tabs. Basically, let's start with the descriptive option. That means it is describing what kind of stock or the companies you are interested for your trade. Generally from in this section, I like these two buttons. Basically, I like to select based upon the market cap, and today we are going to select the companies that are larger than 10 billion in the market cap, 10 billion or higher. And sometimes I use this sector tab. It basically gives what kind of sectors I like to trade the stocks from. They could be from healthcare or financial or the technology stocks. But today I will not select any sectors. So the next step, I move to the fundamentals. So the fundamental tab gives us the idea about what kind of the fundamentals we like to look for the stocks. You can find value stocks or growth stocks or dividend stocks or different types of stocks from this category. Generally, our goal is to find the stocks they move relatively in a reasonable pace, and the best way to find those strong best stocks in the market are the growth stocks. So let's select a couple of parameters from here that actually gives us the best growth stocks in the market. So I like this EPS growth quarter over quarter, that is basically above 10%. So what it is saying is we are selecting the companies, and based upon their recent quarter, their earning growth or the earning per share growth was 10% higher than the previous quarter. And if they are growing organically, their sales should be also growing 10% or higher to support that earning per share growth. So the sales growth quarter over quarter, I like to also select 10% or higher. Then the stocks generally trade based upon the future expectations. So past data is generally already priced in or not that useful. So let's select the EPS growth next year. And what I like to see here is the companies are growing fast enough and their earning expectations are actually improving and accelerating. So for this metric, I like to generally select something over 10% or 15%. And if you go down, we have already excluded lots of companies here, and you are selecting most of the best growth stocks. And I like more value-based approaches. So always it is better to look the forward PE compared to the current PE. So the forward PE, I like to select something under 25 or 30. And in this case, I'm going to select just 25. But you can always change these parameters when you want. And here you can see on the bottom, we have only the 4 pages. We excluded lots of stocks already because the stock market is all-time high and several stocks are really expensive. So we are making our list very narrow based upon our selections. And we are looking for the ideas for the swing trade, but we are also backing our swing trade with the fundamentals. So now let's move to the technical, which is most important parameter for the trader. And what we like to see is the price is actually above the 200-day SMA. So the stock is not in a downfall, but if it was downfall, it basically reversed or trading is still above the 200 SMA. Now, if you go to the bottom, you see we already excluded some more stocks. So the next step, I go to this valuation tab, and you can see here several other parameters. And I like to try to look these stocks one by one. For the purpose of the today's video, I'm going to only find some of the stocks that I think I am already familiar. So the one name that I find familiar is the Booking Holdings. Now, if you look the chart of the Booking Holding, you can see the price was actually in the downtrend, but recently it reversed from the late November, and currently the price is sitting above all of these moving averages, which is a good thing. And if you look the weekly chart, you can see the similar pattern. If you look the past pattern of the Booking Holdings in the weekly chart, you can see here the prices were actually bouncing from the 50 SMA chart. For example, in the April of the, I think in the August of the 2024, the price bounced from the 3,000 range and went actually to 5,000 range. That's a nice gain. And in the 2025, it started from 4,000 and went up to the almost close to $6,000. And recently, it actually bounced from 4,500 and it should go somewhere close to the 6,000 or 6,500 range. And this recent pattern actually supports the previous patterns. So you can see in the recent bounce or in the trend reversal, you can see the similar pattern like it made in the past. So in the swing trading, you clearly need the entry and the exit strategy. So based upon this chart, my entry strategy is around 5200, and I like to hold the stock if it holds based upon my thesis up to the 6000 range. And if it moves higher, I continuously like to hold. If it doesn't go based upon my thesis, then I would be selling this stock around the $4,600. That is the previous low. And if it breaks below that range, I would be selling my position. So this is one example that I show you from the screening software, but this is the position I already have. So in this space, basically I look each of these tickers and I analyze the charts and the company fundamentals. If there are companies that I don't understand, I generally don't take the position. So for example, you can see here the chart of the back group, that is the ticker symbol PAC. The chart look quite interesting. It is bouncing from the 200 SMA, 200-day moving average, and I would be very happy to take the position around the 230 $235 after the breakout. And the price actually came to the 20-day moving average. That was the support, and went all the way up to $72. That was the higher high from this previous higher levels, and it looks like it is trying to go down to the moving average again, so you could exit somewhere here. But this is not the company that I was familiar with, so I didn't initiate this position. But you can always do the fundamental research and initiate the position. So in my swing trading ideas, I generally like to look at the fundamentals, look at the company profile, understand the story, and take the position based upon the technical analysis. So this FinViz software is very useful tool for identifying the stocks based upon the fundamentals and the technical analysis. So the second way I generally find my swing trade ideas are from the stocks that I am already familiar or they are in my watch list. So I'm going to show you one more example. That is the ticker symbol AJG. And if you look here, this stock is basically the insurance broker. It is growing pretty attractively in the past years, and the future expectation is also decent for this stock. And here you can see this is bouncing back from the 200 SMA in the weekly chart. If you go back and look the longer term chart, it is actually bouncing back from the 50 SMA in the weekly chart for most of the time. And in the past few years, it was actually bouncing back from the 20 SMA, but recently it broke and went down to the 50 SMA. But this looks like a good bounce to me. So I already initiated a position for this stock, and my exit strategy is if the price goes below the $235, I'm going to exit my position. If my thesis holds and works as I anticipated, then I'm going to wait up to the $350, and from there I'll see how the price movement will work at that time, and I may actually sell half of my position or hold for further gains. If you are looking for shorter term, then other resistance level would be 300 level to watch. If it actually bounces back and moves down from the 300 level, that would be also the place to watch for the resistance or price reversal. But if it breaks from there, then the next resistance would be previous high, which is $350. So using this FinBiz software, you can actually find the stocks that are cheaper based upon the valuation. They are attractive in terms of the growth and the future expectations, and they are bouncing from recent sell-off, or they are actually above the 200-day moving average. But you can also use these tools to identify the breakouts, or making the higher highs or different types of price levels. I generally prefer to trade with the margin of the safety, and the best way to do that is identify the stocks that are growing faster, they have the best fundamentals, the valuations are cheaper, and from the technical level, there is big support. So that's the criteria I look. Please let me know what you think about this strategy.